Let me show you how much money that you will attract into your life writing this simple phrase on a piece of paper. Before we dive into this, I just want to welcome you. If you're new here, thanks for stumbling on this video and watching. And if you're a returner, thanks for coming back. If you haven't yet, be sure to get my free Success Hypnosis MP3. It's pinned to the comments and in the description right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's my free Success Hypnosis MP3 that you can start to use to reprogram your subconscious mind so you can actually attract what you want quicker, faster, and easier into your life. You can check it out right there down below. A mentor of mine told me to write this simple phrase down every day, and I ended up earning more money than I literally ever could have imagined. In hindsight, he could have charged me hundreds of thousands of dollars for what he taught me, but it actually was given to me for free. So I'm going to pay it forward back to you and give you this simple secret to attracting more money into your life, all for free. I was actually making about $1,900 a month, and Bob Proctor said to me to write a phrase on an index card and carry it with me everywhere that I went. And in the first month, I made $10,000 in new clients, book sales, and speaking engagements. And in the second month, I got booked onto George Noory Coast to Coast AM, one of the biggest radio shows in the world, and I ended up getting a $10,000 speaking gig from it. And in just about 6 years, I ended up manifesting a little over $7.9 million from using it. And it was actually so powerful that my wife framed the original index card that I wrote on this phrase that I've actually carried with me onto every single office and every single bedroom I've ever been in that we've lived in. And I keep the original copy with me everywhere because although this little paper is probably worth a half of 1 cent, what's on it may be worth millions of dollars to you. On this piece of paper, Bob had me write my desire followed by the phrase, making millions of dollars and inspiring millions of people. So my phrase says that I'm a globally successful author and online speaker, making millions of dollars and inspiring millions of people. And you can do the same thing with basically any profession or desire of yours, whether it's real estate or life coaching or yoga or chiropractic work and so on and so forth. And the reason that this technique works so well is because of neuroplasticity. The brain is made of nerve cells, which communicate by sending electrical and chemical signals to one another. And these electrical signals control our body, our nervous system, and our subconscious via neurons. And these neural networks that link together are called synapses. And you might be wondering, what does a brain synapse have to do with me and with you making money? So first, here's a quick clip of what a neural pattern looks like when it's formed. As you can see from the video, it's basically a connection. It's one cell talking to another. A second neuron, the receiver, can receive electrical information from another. And when neural transmitters actually connect to an electrical signal from another cell, that becomes what's known as a synapse. Your brain runs from electricity. If an electrical signal passes through a cell, it releases chemicals called neurotransmitters into the synapse. And these neurotransmitters tell the receiving cell of your brain to either activate its own electrical charge, which sends the signal to the next neuron in the chain, or to ignore it. So it's basically like a giant domino effect that you can actually use to rebuild your brain for wealth and to rebuild your brain for money. Now, this science is really the missing link between people making a lot of money. And in the year 2000, the Nobel Prize winner in physiology or medicine was awarded to a medical doctor named Eric Kandel. And during his Nobel Prize winning speech, he stated, and I quote, "We have found that the neural networks of the brain are not fixed." What he means by not fixed is that he discovered that through neuroplasticity, the brain can actually be changed and rewired for a fundamentally new reality. So if you're broke, it's just because your brain has just memorized the neural program, the neural pattern for your entire life through your emotions, your circumstance, and your environment. And this is why it never matters how many hours you work, how motivated you get, how good of a book you read. What happens is those cells of your brain become neurologically programmed for you to struggle financially. But the good news is that these neural networks can actually be updated and rewired. And I believe that this simple phrase is probably the easiest and the fastest technique to start to train your brain to attract wealth into your life. Now, once you write this phrase down, it's important to use repetition. You write it down every single day and you carry it with you. And the reason is that the Nobel Prize winner Kandel found that the neural connections in your brain double when new cells are activated from learning something new or building a new synaptic connection. So for example, you using this financial mantra and writing it on a piece of paper is activating new cells. You double the neural connections in your brain with respect to financial prosperity. But what Kandel found was if you do not repeat it, those doubled neural connections actually get cut back in half within a matter of only 21 days. So in other words, by repeating this, you actually double the neural connections for you to make $10,000 a month, $100,000 a month. But if you don't repeat them, those neural connections all fall away and your brain goes back to the same old financial programming. So my friend, if you are ready to actually retrain your brain and you're ready for financial prosperity, give this technique a try and let me know in the comments how it works for you. I read every single comment, so I'd love to know how this works for you and where in the world that you are coming from. If you haven't yet, make sure that you hit the subscribe and bell notification right over there to get notified for new episodes, and check out my free success hypnosis. It's my free financial success hypnosis. It's pinned to the comments and in the description right there down below where you can start to attract the money you deserve.